Last night, my wife and I had a small disagreement. She wanted to attend a party her friends had been planning for weeks. I wasn't comfortable with the idea, but it wasn't because I wanted to control her. It was just a bad feeling I couldn't shake. I told her honestly that I didn't want her to go. She laughed it off, calling me overprotective, and brushed aside my concern. In the end, she got dressed, said little, and left. I stayed in the living room, the clock ticking louder with every passing minute. The longer I sat there, the heavier my thoughts grew. Why was that party so important that she would ignore how I felt? I didn't call or text her. I just sat in silence, letting the disappointment sink in. When she finally came home, it was nearly 2 in the morning. She walked in casually, the faint scent of perfume and alcohol clinging to her, her soft laughter still echoing from the ride home with her friends. I glanced at her once but didn't say a word. She noticed my silence, but instead of offering an explanation, she went straight to bed. I didn't sleep that night. My mind kept circling the same thoughts. I felt ignored, dismissed, and unimportant. If my feelings didn't matter, what did that mean for our marriage? Still, I said nothing. I chose quiet over conflict. Morning arrived, and I expected her to pretend nothing had happened. But to my surprise, she was already in the kitchen cooking breakfast. I sat at the table watching her move around. There was something different about her. A heaviness in her posture, a quiet guilt in her eyes. When she finally sat down, she couldn't look at me. Then, in a low, trembling voice, she began to speak. She admitted she had been selfish the night before. The party had seemed important then, but she realized she'd been wrong to ignore my feelings. Her voice wavered as she confessed that even surrounded by laughter and music, she felt empty inside. The guilt had followed her all night, and she couldn't escape it anymore. I stayed silent, listening. She apologized. Not just for going to the party, but for making me feel like my thoughts didn't matter in our relationship. It had been a long time since she spoke with such honesty, and I could tell she meant every word. Still, I didn't forgive her immediately. I told her that actions would mean more than words. Respect in a marriage isn't just about love. It's about recognizing each other's feelings, even when we disagree. She nodded, tears filling her eyes, and promised to change, to think about us instead of only herself. For the first time, I felt she understood the meaning behind my silence the night before. It wasn't anger. It was disappointment. As we ate breakfast together, the tension slowly faded. It wasn't a perfect fix, but it was a start. She realized that trust and respect can't be set aside for a moment of fun. Over the next few days, I noticed her effort. She began involving me in her plans, asking for my thoughts, and making sure decisions were made together. It wasn't about control. It was about balance and respect. Looking back, that night could have broken us. Instead, it became a turning point. My silence had spoken louder than any argument ever could. The next morning, her eyes showed understanding. She finally realized what our marriage needed most: mutual respect. That morning, instead of more silence or blame, we talked. She admitted she was wrong to dismiss me and explained how empty the night had felt without my support. Her apology was sincere, and for the first time in a while, I felt she truly understood that marriage isn't about winning arguments. It's about valuing each other's emotions. I accepted her apology, but I reminded her that respect must always come first. She promised to be more considerate, and I promised to trust her more. In that moment, our silence turned into understanding, and the distance from the night before disappeared. We chose forgiveness over pride, and that choice made our bond stronger than ever.